Yeah, check. It's the fireflies fade from the light pollution and bees die. Ain't nobody got the right solution. Whole world in the days going through a maze, hunting for sharks and beliefs swimming through the waves. And on top of that, they using slaves. The whole planet going through a phase. Damn it, what we do amaze. It's about to turn into a hellhole. The hot temperature done got the ice caps on melt mode. They level land for a built road. Be concerned. A lot of wisdom in the ecosystem we could learn. But what does a teacher earn? A bunch of oil spills in the ocean until I bet the beach will burn. Unthinkable, river water undrinkable. Humans going against everything that's instinctual. Everything is off, even things that are seasonal. And everything is lost, even weather that's regional. I ain't the one to say that it's the signs of the times. More like it's the result of the designs of our minds. As little kids dying deep inside freaking minds. Digging deep for diamonds and gold for your shrines. It's barbarian, though you dress to the nines. Humanitarian, plus environmental crimes. You risk your whole livelihood for the ivory. But if you had another income, it'd be Irie. Think, I don't blame a native, bring me a drink. They killed a buffalo to the brink of being extinct. Turn a rat fink to a missing link in a blink. Hold a whole animal family and made of a mink. Yo, we used to be in unison with nature and God. Now everything we doing all plastic and odd. Government cover-ups try to mask the facade, but the all-seeing eyes all massive and broad. God, free existence, tell me what that mean to you. They got a tradition of making everything a zoo. And now they going stir crazy in a cage and getting tranquilized every time they have raves like rampage. They say you messing up the feng shui, behave the wrong way, end up like Harambe. The oil pipelines, destroying lifelines, just like white lines sniffed in the nighttime. And food causing more panic, we in this schizophrenic. Our bodies need more, but is it organic?
What up, y'all? This is 4BarLoop, and I'm your host, Nytelife. Tonight, I have a very special guest, man. This gentleman is out of the Atlanta area. He is a really dope MC. He has this great, tremendous project called The Overview Effect, which I have absolutely fallen in love with. And, you know, that's a tough thing for me to do with projects, but, man, he got it. So let me go ahead and welcome this sick spitter, man, Jermiside. How you doing tonight, man?
Feeling all right. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Mr. Nytelife, you know what I'm saying? 4BarLoop, what's going on?
Hey, thanks, man. We got family in common. A brother named George. He definitely wanted me to send you well wishes and love, man. He speaks very highly of you.
Oh, for sure. Shout out to a brother named George. That's my guy.
Yeah,
that's my guy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's my mentor. I ain't ever afraid to not say that. I mean, he's such a tremendous person, and you know, like inside and out the rap game. Dope.
For sure, definitely. Yeah. We go back a number of years, probably about 15 at this point, I guess. 15, something like that. Yeah. Really good guy, dope MC. You know, we've done a lot of work over the years. Yeah, man, just, you know, great guy. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, man. So, you know, we've been trying to link up for a couple of weeks, and so I'm glad that we had the opportunity to actually be able to do this, man. Thank you for your patience and understanding with schedules and all of that stuff. So we'll go ahead and get started. So, tell me where you got your start at.
Oh, wow. Okay, where I get my start? Okay, I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? I was there for, you know, up until I was about 21 or 22, you know, before I moved to Atlanta. So yeah, that's where I got my start. I cut my teeth and everything. You know, started rhyming and producing. You know, I've been doing that, you know, from a real young age. You know, and then, you know, in Cincinnati, it's like, you know, there's not a lot of people doing a lot of different things. Well, at least at that point in time, you know, I'm dating myself right now. But when I first got started, it was like probably like early 90s. You know what I mean? So, you know, at that time, you know, there wasn't things like, you know, FL Studio, and, you know, you couldn't just turn on the computer and start making beats and stuff like that. So like if you was really interested in hip hop, you know, you had to put in your work. You had to, you know, go find out, you know, what equipment was used to, you know, make this sound and that sound. And,
right.
You know, you had to do a lot of research. And, you know, at the end of the day, I just end up doing a lot of things myself because there was really nobody around who, you know, did these sorts of things. Nobody was really making beats and DJing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially in a small Midwestern town. So yeah, that's kind of how I got my start. Just being inquisitive about the music itself. Trying to figure out the gear and how these songs were made and things like that, and then it all just kind of it spiraled from there. You know.
Yeah, you make a good point, man. That YouTube era wasn't around. YouTube University wasn't around for cats to be able to learn,
Mm-mm.
programs and stuff like that. And, the ease of some of these programs to be able to record and make joints and stuff like that is, man, you had to really sit in and put your hands on shit and get to work, back in the day when cats first started rocking, man. So
Yeah. I mean, you had to know somebody. You had to know that one particular individual who had the end, and just kind of, come in as kind of like a mentor, under that person to, learn the tricks of the trade. It was definitely, yeah, it was definitely not as commonplace as it is now.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So who's been some of your inspirations coming up?
Shoot, I would say coming up, like a lot of East Coast hip hop, mid '90s, like Wu-Tang, Tribe Called Quest. I say like even before that, and once again I'm dating myself, but even before then, I would say like when I first started listening, my favorites were actually
Okay.
Kwame, Heavy D, and Special Ed. Those were my guys. You know what I'm saying? When I first started listening.
Speak my language.
Yeah. And then, yeah, man, actually a lot of groups from that era, man, from that, quote unquote, what I call the golden age. I would say like, shoot, man, even like, KRS, that's a Sonic, everybody from that era, like that late '80s, early '90s kind of era. That's what really jumped it off, for me. So yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, with you being in Atlanta right now, the type of music, I know that it was just like when people hear it, they think East Coast immediately. With the type of music that you're doing, with Atlanta being the melting pot that it is for hip hop, with a lot of, but it's right now it's like a lot of trap and a lot of new school melodic hip hop that's coming out of Atlanta right now. Not like the the days that we was looking at Outkast and Goody Mob and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How have you been able to stay the course and not kind of when in Rome do as the Romans?
I don't know. I mean, I've always had a respect for all kinds of music everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, whether it's trap, whether it's like the more soulful version of Atlanta with like Outkast and things like that, I can respect it, and I can kind of respect it from a distance. Like I know where my roots are as an artist. You know what I'm saying? And I can appreciate others, from a distance without feeling like I need to like mold myself into a particular sound. Even though I respect that sound as well, So yeah. I'm comfortable being in any space musically, but it doesn't necessarily mean I gotta switch up my MO just to fit in or anything like that. So
Yeah, absolutely. That makes total sense. It's just the what's in and what's now, and looking at the underground scene, and I feel like it's making a resurgence, and people are starting to understand and flow back to that music, because there's the music that you have. There's a lot of soulful content. There is teaching. There is giving people an opportunity to think with the music and apply it, and to be like to where it's like relatable to people that are in certain situations. The producer that you had, the expert, it seems like you and him have such great chemistry. This isn't the typical project. So what was it like working with him, and how was the collaborative process?
Man, the collaborative process, it was, it was more so like, I guess foreign exchange really kind of sparked this off, which is, taking advantage of technology and the internet, and things like that. Because yeah, for sure. I really, let's see, I started working with him through a guy named Danny Diggs. I actually worked on some collaborative projects with a guy named Danny Diggs a couple years back, and the expert, he did a remix for one of the tracks on that album. And then from there, we kind of developed a relationship. And he would send me beats here and there. And I think he did a couple remixes for, I know he did a couple remixes for The Legendary, which is, my crew. It kind of it consists of, Tanya Morgan, Shay Grand, et cetera, et cetera. And, over the years, we just kind of kept in touch. He sent me stuff from time to time, and then he reached out a couple years ago, or about 3 or 4 years ago, and was like, hey, what do you think about, collaborating on a project? So, he would send me beats here and there. I mean, he really had he came with the idea already, formulated in his mind. You know what I'm saying? It's like he had saw the vision already for what he wanted to put together, and it's almost like he was just, looking for the perfect vessel, you know what I mean, to kind of bring it into fruition.
Yeah.
So, he presented me with the idea. I said, hey, that sounds dope. And, we just kind of kept in touch. He kept, sending tracks. I, take a listen. He sent another gang of beats. I'll take a listen, pick beats, and just I'd sit with him for a while. And, over probably about a 3.5 year span or something like that, we put the project together. So, we definitely took our time. It wasn't like a microwave situation where we just, he just sent me some tracks. I, knock them out and send it back. I really sat with the music, and I'm sure you could tell he really sat with the music. You know what I mean?
It definitely sounds like that, because I'm really, really big on when producers use vocal samples to help tell the story of an album. And I think he did such a great job with that. Was that something where you had a hand in picking some of those, those vocal samples to use, or is that all expert on that?
Yeah, that's all X. Yeah, it's all the expert, man. He fleshed it all out and put it together. I mean, I can't take credit for any of that. I laid the verses, and he kind of took it from there. And yeah, I can really appreciate it too. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to like DJ and stuff back in the day, and I used to put together little like scratch tapes and things like that. So I would find dialogue from this record and that record, and so I can really respect and admire what he did to make that a cohesive body of work. It's not like he just threw it together. So yeah, shout out to the expert.
Absolutely. So in regards to the overview effect, it's so well put together, man. Everything from the artwork to the sound that was done is crazy. It linked to me really well when I read that it was like 90s psychedelic, folk, spiritual type music, and that it really got brought home with there wasn't a lot of heavy drums on it. They had tracks where they were driving drums on them, but there wasn't a lot of heavy drums because it just allowed you to kind of be in the moment. And I think it allows you to star really well with your vocals and your vocal tone. Your vocal tone, man, I hope you don't be offended when I say this, but you have a lot of the same like vocal characteristics attached from the Alcoholics.
I've never heard that one, but yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I love Tash. I love Tash.
Yeah, I just was listening to your cadence, and I'm just like, I get like Tash vibes from that shit, and it was just like, I was like, man, I really enjoyed the fact of how you link things together. There are pauses where they're supposed to be at. The bar structure is just, it's so mellowed out. It's so mellowed out, man, and you seem so comfortable on it. It's not like some people get on and do songs and it sounds kind of rickety, and you can tell that there's not really a lot of thought in how they were gonna play along with the with the instrumental. But you do such a great job with that, man. So I definitely
Appreciate
wanted to compliment you on that.
Appreciate that for sure. Yeah, yeah. I hadn't heard that comparison before. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and dig in the crates, listen to some more Alcoholics tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you. I'll give you as far as like some of the cadence and like flow patterns. I'll give you Elzai for that. There's some Elzai tones with that, but that vocal tone, man, I just immediately, and I was like, who does he sound like? I said, he sound like Taz from Alcoholics, man. That's crazy.
That's what's up. Hey, that's a compliment. Sure.
All right, and some man, there were so many standout joints for me, man. I just, like I said, I just was before we came on, I was telling you that I was listening, and I was like, okay, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. Oh, that one's. Oh, this is. Oh man, this. And I just kept on. I kept on doing it because I wanted to be able to point out some of the standout joints that I like. So I Love You Still. Bullet Shock is probably the one that I really, really enjoyed the most. Black Tears. That back and forth that you had with Stick Figure for a little bit on there was dope. Middle Ground was just, oh man. And of course the single, for the Money, I like that one too. Is there any favorite joints that you have since you've had a chance to be able to kind of be into it now?
You know what, Bullet Shot, I think that's probably my favorite. It was my favorite real early on. Like when I heard it, it just jumped out at me. It felt like to me, it felt like an old blues record. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I mean old blues, like from the beginnings of blues. Like that. That's what it felt like to me. You know what I mean? And the vibe of it, it was the same. It was like, man, this is the blues all the way, so I don't know, that joint, it really spoke to me. The subject matter, I don't know, there's always a million things going on, especially concerning violence between the police and the community, et cetera, so I can't pinpoint what was happening at the moment, but in my mind I was really thinking about the Mike Brown incident, et cetera. So yeah, the bullet shot, I really like that. I like Crime Run the City with Tanya Morgan for sure, just because I feel like it was a different kind of record for them and me both. I love the production on there. How it switches up and everything. The Expert did his thing on there. Probably those two. Those two are like my standouts at the moment, I think. But yeah, I'm sure that'll change, as I keep listening to it. Like I was telling you before, I made an intentional decision not to really listen to the album until it came out. You know what I'm saying? Like I recorded it, he put it together. He sent it to me finished, and I might have listened to it thoroughly maybe like one time. But I was like, I'm not gonna listen anymore until it drops. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel like a fan.
Boy, you have a lot of faith, man. If you wouldn't listen through for the mixing process, because I already know that's where you get worn out on joints, man.
Oh yeah.
Is try to sit through mixes. Like you can love something too and just be like, you know what, I do not want to hear this joint no more.
You know what, and that's for me. That's what made this experience so beautiful, man. It's because I didn't really have to do that, because I trust the expert. You know what I'm saying? So I know when I send these vocals off, he's gonna do his thing. You know what I mean? So it was like I don't need to listen to this 500 times. I record it. Make sure I get my stuff right, and then he'll take care of the rest. I mean, it was really dope to kind of be able to be in the passenger seat. Because a lot of my projects, I'm kind of like maybe like the head figure. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And some of them, I'm it's just me. All the way from the top to the bottom. You know what I mean? It's production, mixing, everything. So yeah, you're right. you can get worn out really quick. And then, you listen to something so much, you can get so caught up in it, you're like, I don't know, your vantage point gets kind of skewed as to whether it's actually dope or not.
Right.
you know? So, it's dope to be able to kind of hand stuff off to somebody else whose musical opinion you have faith in and you trust, and then they can take care of it from there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I know I touched on this earlier, but I didn't get to ask you the question really, is how important is it for you to teach with your creations? You sound like you have a lot to say. How pivotal is that to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I was saying, I come from that era of like X-Clan and Public Enemy and all of that. Like, that's my roots. Like when I first started, that's what I was hearing. You know what I'm saying? So that was like the seed that that sprouted me. So I don't know. It's just like I don't know how to do anything other than kind of infuse some kind of information in my lyrics. I try not to be too preachy or anything like that. I just try to speak on things in a way that make people think. I just want to make people think. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to tell you what to think, or anything like that. I just want you to say, oh, what is that he just said? Or, oh, that was deep, what he just said. You know what I mean? I just want people to think. That's it. I definitely don't make the kind of music, at least I try not to, where it's just like, I'm just listening to the beats. You know what I'm saying? I try to make sure I'm saying something, potent, powerful, first line on the record, or first couple lines, is Martin Luther said hatred was a bottomless emotion, but tell that to the slaves at the bottom of the ocean. You know what I mean? So it's like, I kind of wanted to set the tone, like, all right, you need to kind of pay attention to what I'm saying here, because this is not just rhyming words just to rhyme them,
You know what's funny, man? It's just like when I listen, I just miss the rewind button. I miss that. I miss that feature of being able to do that. Sliding the, you know what I'm saying? Sliding the bar ain't the same. Ain't the same feel. It's just like, I was hearing lines and I was like, man, let me go back and hear that again. And I was like, oh man, I wish I could just rewind.
Right. Yeah.
So as far as, is there things that you have learned, from recording earlier projects that you've been able to apply now to help you get better and more polished?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I technically over the years, I guess you know what I'm saying, you learn some new things, you learn some new tricks, you get some new equipment, you know what I mean? You learn your way around that equipment a little bit better. So I think that's helped. And just having projects, years previous, just getting feedback on those, like, oh, the way you sound on this track, you should have done this, you should have done that. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of, take that feedback and, do what you will with it. But yeah, I think just recording over time, it's probably some benefit there. Just, like anything else, you do it enough, long enough, you're bound to get better at it. So yeah, for sure.
So are you like a volume recording artist, or where you just are constantly just churning stuff out, or is it one of those things where it got to be feel, mood, and inspiration for you to be able to create? Yeah,
definitely got to be inspired, at this point, especially, with a family and everything, it's not like being a teenager. You just sit off in your room with rhyme books, everywhere. Just, that definitely not on that level anymore. Somebody just hit me up and they were saying, man, listen to that album and, it inspired me to write again. And I'm just like, hey, I mean, that's how it goes, because if the expert hadn't hit me up, this album, or that there might not even be an album in place of this one. It's just, it might not have been anything, so yeah, I write when I'm inspired now. If I'm not inspired, I'm not writing, But then again, I was kind of thinking about this the other day, like, man, I should just start writing again, just picking up, napkins and pieces of paper and just, you know what I mean? Just kind of get back to that vibe. So, yeah, for sure. It's just on inspiration right now, but hopefully I can get back to just doing it.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I feel you with that because me, I got like short-term and long-term memory loss, so I just I have to write down everything. So I'm like, I got my notepad on my phone. So if I get an idea or I get a couple bars that come off, I'm just like, let me go ahead and hit this right quick because if I don't, it's
Right.
gone. It's gone.
Right.
So you spoke, you just made reference to your family. So how is it balancing your family and, creating music and, doing things that have to do with music?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's really much of a balance right now. I mean, because, like I said, unless I'm inspired or unless I have something specific I'm working on, I'm not really doing music all that much. You know what I mean? It's, so it doesn't really get in the way. As far as I'm concerned. My family might tell you different. My wife might tell you different for sure. But yeah, I don't think it, it's not really much to balance at this point. I'm a straight shooter with it. I just say, okay, I got 2 features to knock out. After everybody's in the bed, et cetera, I'll take my couple of hours, write my verses, get it out the door. It's done. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's definitely I don't know. I guess over the years, I've kind of developed a method. There's a method to the madness.
Right.
So it kind of doesn't really interfere. So yeah.
Anybody in the family, as far as children or child, picking up in your footsteps?
Nah. Nobody does music. But the funny thing is, the week you hit me up, I was heading out to LA. My wife is a DJ, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was kind of like her roadie for the weekend, so that was that was pretty cool. So yeah, she's definitely into music for sure. Kids not so much. They like music, but that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, I got that problem bad too, man. I'm like, man, nobody wants to pick up the family business at all.
Right. Right. It's all good. I mean, they're all creative in their own particular ways, So, I respect that. I'm not trying to turn anybody into musicians or anything.
Right.
But they're all in a band and things like that. They play the drums and et cetera, but nothing too serious.
Oh, they still that's still in it though. That's still in it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
Nothing like having musicians in the family, man. They can help you out. Like, I need you to lay these drums for me right quick. Come here.
Right. Exactly. It's coming. I'm gonna be asking here in a minute. As soon as they get proficient, Hey,
Absolutely.
lay that saxophone on here.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, man. So anything, bucket list wise, as far as for you that you want to accomplish in the near future, or in regards to music?
I don't know, man. I'm really just kind of riding the wave of the project right now. It's been received very well. People, on a daily basis, people are hitting me up about it. Telling me how much they love it. So, I'm probably gonna keep pushing this project for some time, and then, I got some other projects kind of waiting in the wing as well. So, as far as bucket list, man, that's a good one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about a bucket list. Yeah, I have to get back with you on that one.
That could be like, people that you would like to work with. artists that you like to work with, or producers that you would like to work with, or stuff like that. I mean, no dreams too big.
Yeah. You know what? You mentioned Elzai earlier, man. I would love to go bar for bar with Elzai. That would be fun. That would definitely be fun.
I think that would work. You would, yeah. I could see that.
Yeah. And there's another, actually a lot of Detroit people that I dig. It's another producer. What's his name? 14 Karat, 14 KT.
Oh, 14 KT.
Yeah. He's nice, man. I would love to demolish one of his beats. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's about it that I can think of off top. Yeah.
Well, that's all good, man. It sounds like that. You well on your way. Like I said, this project is immense. I really enjoy that, and that's just not that's just not like interview speak where you tell everybody, oh, that's dope. Like no, this is really like something that I can sit with, and I know that I'm gonna listen to it over and over again. And you are definitely an MC's MC, man. Like I really like I can go back to George, and George is really particular about the stuff that he listens to and the people that he champions.
Yeah.
And he was like he was beating the drum for you, and I was like, okay, let me go ahead and see what's up. And then I heard, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely for me, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Shout out to George again, man. Brother named George.
Yes, sir.
What up?
All right. Tell the people where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can find me online, everywhere at Jermiside. You can find the record anywhere you can stream, anywhere you stream, anywhere. So, yeah, just look up Jermiside, Jermiside and the Expert. Yeah, Jermiside.com. Shout out to Rucksack Records. You can go to their Bandcamp. Yeah, we got the vinyl there. It's going. Yeah, it's going quickly. So, yeah, get up on that for sure.
Definitely, that's definitely something I gotta add to the collection, man. So
yeah, for sure.
It was absolutely beautiful talking to you, man. You are as humble as they come. You are a definite talent, man, and I appreciate you giving me 30 minutes of your time tonight, man. Feel free to reach out at any time. I'd love to do it again if you got another project coming through, man, and I'm looking forward to listening to more of your music, man. Definitely got a fan of me, brother.
Hey, for sure, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you reaching out and giving me the platform and everything, man. I like what you're doing. I was going through and checking out the interviews and stuff like that. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing that, man. Thank you. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Difficult roads often lead to most beautiful destinations. Shoot your shot, go for the win, you might make it. Peace.
For sure.
Money.
Check. This life is all about the cheddar made. You tryna be forever paid, feeling swamped like the Everglade. Every other day a new Beretta sprayed by a spade who ain't waiting on the government to get us aid. You on your grind in your prime, working overtime. You struggle like a sober mind when he holding wine. You only tryna shine like a golden shrine. It make you wanna go and toe the nine on the road to crime. Stay on the chase till your kids barely know your face. And once you leave that mark on them, there'll be no erase. Got you frustrated like the feds when they blow a case. Switching at your time sped down to a slower pace. In a warehouse working your fingers to the skeleton. Rap artists gotta drop shit like a pelican just to stay relevant. Long hours you exhausted. Your wife you made a slick comment and you lost it.
M-O-N-E-Y, but you can't take it with you when you die. He's in it for the montage. M-O-N-E-Y, but you can't take it with you when you die. He's in it for the montage. M-O-N-E-Y, but you can't take it with you when you die. He's in it for the montage. M-O-N-E-Y, M-O-N-E-Y, M-O-N-E-Y. Why?
I'm telling you, next week we ain't gotta worry about all this box moving and records and doing all of this shit here. Like I'm telling you, what you mean you don't know?
Lose your job, you in desperation. Feeling like a slob, though you had no pride with your education. Feeling like you drive a Saab with no destination. And it make you wanna sob, ain't no explanation. Said you saw yourself drowning in your recent dreams. Since your teens, all you wanted was some decent means. Frequent streams of income that you could keep in teens. Teach them things, sit with your family and eat some greens. Busting your ass, lusting for cash, punching the gas. Upping you dash, upping your stats, since cutting grass. Then crash, you could lose it in a sudden flash. Your palms itching, trying to satisfy the fucking brass. We know it's something that they try to make demonic. And though they hate to say it, men's value depends upon it. You so weak cause you grinding with no sleep. The need to your road just ain't letting your soul speak.
High risk, big reward. Come on, man. Think about it.